Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the webinar IBM Rational HATS Customized Amazing Features by Royal Cyber. We are waiting on few more participants to join in, so we are going on hold for a minute. We will start the webinar as soon as few other people join in. Thank you. Okay, so we are starting. I welcome you again to the webinar IBM Rational HATS Customize Amazing Features by Royal Cyber. We are conducting this webinar on GoToWebinar IDE. So you can see the hand raise feature. Kindly raise your hand to tell us that you can hear me loud and clear. So everyone can hear me loud and clear. So basically, in this webinar, we will talk about how Royal Cyber can help you in modernizing IBM I and IBM Z server-based green screen applications to the latest current output mediums as per your requirements. We will share the solution that we have implemented over the years for our different projects for our different clients. Those solutions are added to our solution base and can be reused in other projects. This reusability of components means we can provide you the desired solution very rapidly and efficiently. My name is Yasir Hassan, and I have with me our experienced and seasoned head expert, Mohammad Imran. Let us start with the agenda. We will start with the brief introduction about us. Then we will discuss the IBM Rational HATS tool. In the next section, we will describe what Royal Cyber has done over the years on top of HATS. Mostly the implementation required something beyond the default option, so a lot of additional out-of-box thinking had to be done for the development of clients' requirements. In the demonstration section, we will explain different implementation that we had done to serve our clients. Then we will discuss the business benefits of HATS. Eventually, we will conclude the webinar by answering your questions, concerns, and queries. So let us start with the brief introduction about us, Royal Cyber. Royal Cyber is a modernized e-business solution provider. We are premier IBM business partners, IBM authorized trainers, and Microsoft certified gold partners. Since the company's inception in 1997, we have developed as leader in providing training and consultancy of IBM Rational, WebSphere, Tivoli, Lotus, Cognos, and Microsoft family solutions to businesses worldwide. And our client base include many Fortune 500 companies as well. We are present across the globe. We are headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, from where all this had started. We have a global footprint with offices and development centers across North America, Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, as you can see in this slide. Here is our brand portfolio. As you can see, we have covered all the possible bases with our solutions, from enterprise modernization to database server to e-commerce based solution to portals. You name it, we have it, basically. Now we will give you brief understanding of IBM Rational HATS tool, what you can accomplish using HATS. Rational HATS is a premier IBM product suite that is inarguably the best tool for presenting old green screen applications built on IBM IZ server, and it performs this transformation very quickly and of course efficiently. You can prepare HATS modernized version for various output mediums, and the best thing about HATS is that there is no need whatsoever to make any changes in the existing application running at the back end. So it means that the matured environment stays at the back end, ensuring business continuation or stability. Another thing is that you don't need to migrate data with HATS implementation. Also, it's very hard to train people on old technologies. So moving to HATS permits new resources to come on board quickly, and it is very easy to find resources for modern technologies as compared to the legacy ones. HATS does not only display the content of green screen application on the modernized interface. There are so many other things that HATS permits you to do. Like you can modernize green screen per the recent UI standards. You can apply macros. You can apply customization and other techniques to show green screen data in organized and friendly manner. Advanced controls and widgets can also be used, which are naturally absent in green screen. HATS can also be used for creating mobile version for specific devices for your on the business needs. This is the overall development process. Like any application we create these days, a HATS application is created on modern IDE, that is Eclipse in our case. The HATS application is deployed on WebSphere application server. Of course, during the design, the developer always have the green screen in front of them, as you know, the basic idea of HATS is to modernize the legacy application. So they have to have the green screen in front of them always. And another thing is that till version 8.5, HATS only supported WAS server or WebSphere application server. But with version 9 and 8.5, now we also have support of Geronimo and Oracle WebLogic. So when the end user accesses the application via his or her system, WAS become responsible for showing the modernized view to the end user, and at the same time it performs tasks like picking and providing data to green screen, running web services, and providing data to wherever it is needed. Data from legacy servers like System I and System Z can be used at various places as demonstrated in this slide. Data once processed by HATS can be deployed for web applications, rich clients, portals, and mobile devices. Web services can also be created to allow communication between multiple systems. We will discuss web services in more detail in our demonstration section. This is the overall architecture of the HATS implementation in a nutshell. You can see that mainframe server is being used for the green screen application. The HATS application is deployed on WAS, the application server, and then it is being used on various platforms, browser devices, via HTTP protocol, web services, etc. Before we go to our main content of the webinar, let me remind you that there is so little that we can cover in this in a webinar because of time factor. So we also offer detailed HATS training. You can see on the screen some of our HATS training session details. First, we have a 2-day long workshop where you will learn the HATS development from scratch. Other than that, we also offer online and on-site instructor-led training. The curriculum for the workshop is fixed, for a session. We keep on updating it. But for the ILT sessions, we can have customized curriculum according to your need as well. You can find the URL for each in the chat box. We will provide it to you upon completion of the webinar content. And we will also share it with you in the email. So HATS options are available to everyone who uses HATS, either from being an end user perspective or from the development perspective. The question is, what's so special with Royal Cyber? This question will be answered in subsequent sections, where we will explain how Royal Cyber fulfill different technical needs for implementing client-specific requirements by implementing innovative and creative solutions on top of HATS. So the idea is that the platform remained the HATS, but we implemented something on top of HATS or beyond HATS. We have divided the Royal Cybers on top of HATS implementation in these areas. First, we have widget section, in which we will discuss the widgets, controls like tables, radio buttons, checkboxes, drop-downs, calendar controls. In the keys section, we will discuss the various functions and control keys implementation by using buttons, pop-up menus. Then in the menu section, we will show you different creative menu styles that we have implemented. In the mobile section, we will show you what we have accomplished for the mobile gadgets, and we will also show you our responsive web design approach built on top of HATS that make the application OS, platform, browser, device type independent. In the utilities section, we will discuss the utilities developed by Royal Cyber to cater different client requirements, tabbing, data export in different formats, graphs, pop-ups, Google Maps integration, barcode, social media integration, to name a few. In the web services section, we will discuss the various web services based implementation generated from HATS or generated for HATS. In the other section, we will discuss the AJAX portals, DOJO, jQuery in HATS, and enabling HATS to integrate with other applications. There are so many other things that we can also cover, but again, as I mentioned earlier, that in a platform like webinar, we are always short of time, so we have selected the most important ones. So let me start with the widgets. This is a very plain implementation that data available in legacy application is presented in the user-friendly modern interface-based table. This is a simple table provided just to demonstrate the advanced table that we will be discussing in the subsequent slides. So this is scrollable table widget. In scrollable table widget, data of multiple pages is presented on the same page. So the user needs to use the standard scroll bar that is provided on extreme right to traverse data, and this scroll bar can be provided both horizontally or vertically, depend on the size of data. This is another implementation where we have implemented pagination. So basically, if there is too much data to be shown, then instead of flat or scroll based table, it is better to implement pagination. There are many pagination schemes available that we can use. In this one, you click the page number to reach that very page. User can also move forward, backward to first page or to last page by using available control. That is, you can see the arrows. Furthermore, user can type the page number to reach the required page as well. We can also implement such functionality on top of this So basically, after applying search, the data will be filtered according to the search query or search string, and then the pagination scheme will remain the same, but on the filtered data. So this is clickable subfile widget. Again, this is a very trivial case. It's one-to-one mapping of green screen, and on top of modernized screen is implemented here. System move forward based on the record clicked by the user. So it's just the plain replica of the green screen application, but in modernized manner. So the screen combination transformation that we have mentioned here, this provides a way to combine multiple host screen into a single web page. This is done using the screen combination transformation. The resulting web page displays all of the data from all of the green screens at a single place. In this example that we have illustrated, the records are coming from various green screens. System perform further operation based on the record clicked by the user. So here you can see that in the sub file we have implemented a drop-down control. So in green screen, user had to remember what option to select for sub-file record to perform desired operation. But in the counterpart modernized screen, the options are displayed in the drop-down. So there is no explicit need to remember the option associated with the record. All the options available will be displayed in the drop-down list. Okay, in this screen, the same thing that we had discussed on the previous slide, but this time, instead of showing the options in drop-down, we are displaying the option as icon. So the desired operation can be accomplished just by clicking the icon or button. Again, the major benefit here is that user does not need to remember the codes of the operation. All he or she needs to do is to click the required option provided against any particular record. Here you can see that from the list of records, user can make selection from the radio button. We can also implement checkbox here. So basically it makes the selection of a particular record very easy. Calendar widget. So HATS code reads data from green screen, parses text and identify it as a date, and then it uses calendar control to display the record in a modern calendar based interface. As you can see, we have two calendar controls implemented here. One is Popup and other is Inline. Here you can see that HATS code reads green screen data, parses the text, identify the date, and use it to fill in values for a custom JavaScript scheduler widget. This one is a bit more complicated, as you will see on the next slide. That text from green screen is captured by HATS, and then it is given to the JavaScript widget, and then the legacy screen's daily data is aggregated by JS widget, and monthly summary is presented. You can see that you can see that list of months is provided, and the ones where we have task is highlighted with the red color text on the bottom. So clicking a month drill down and a user-friendly and modern view of the scheduler representing detailed daily view of that month. This view can also be customized with the styling, different colors, borders, as per user's requirement. Now, mixed case component. People who use green screen application must be aware that mostly there are always few exceptions, but mostly the data is presented in capital case. But based on the requirement, we can take that data and show it in mixed case, sentence case, lower case, upper case, capitalizing each word, We can also toggle case, and any other string operation that you can imagine can be performed. So now let us discuss about keys implementation in modernized HATS version. In the modernized screen, the function keys operations could be displayed in the form of buttons or icons. This makes obviously the operation very easy, as user does not need to remember all the key operation. Button implementation is implemented along with the function keys. It means that the keys still remain operational, because people who are used to work on the green screen, they know their keys. So we keep the keys intact, and along with that we also provide them buttons or icons to perform the same operation. In this example, you can see that buttons are made more attractive with the implementation of animations and icons. A certain theme-based buttons or icon could also be implemented depending on the overall theme of the application. This is another implementation of function keys. Here you can see that function keys are being showed in the form of a pop-up. So user can call these function keys on demand. So basically the idea is that keys won't be displayed on the screen all the time. It will only appear when you click and request the function keys. So it gives the maximum space on screen to the data that you are dealing with. Okay, so keys control. In this section, you will see that standard keys are being used for operations like tab, page up, page down. These can be associated with different operations on modernized screens. In HATS, tabbing sequence is not defined by default, for example. So we have written code on top of HATS that allow tabbing sequence in any direction according to the data presented on the screen. So now let me start menu. So people who use green screen application do not need to be informed that menu navigation is very cumbersome task there. But with the Royal Cyber HATS implementation, the same could be achieved efficiently with the implementation of dynamic menus. Menus are not only created by mapping the green screen, but also we go in database and populate the menus based on the roles and rights of the user. Here you can see the two level of GUI based menu. So user does not have to remember the menu IDs. User just need to go to the particular option and click it. This is another implementation. So basically the idea is that in the green screen, the child screen had to be accessed by traversing multiple screens. But with the modernization, the menu grows based on the hierarchy. So reaching to any level becomes very convenient. This one is another implementation of menu. Observe the scroll bar appearing at the last level. And the menu items available here are being showed according to the roles and rights of the user. So if the rights goes beyond certain limit, we display the scroll bar, otherwise the options available without a scroll. So here we have implemented a tree menu. In this example, the sub-menus are shown in form of a tree. So the menu look less cluttered, especially if there are many sub-levels. Now here you can see the pop-up menus. These are the same menu options, but now user has the convenience as these pop-up menus can be minimized, maximized, hidden, closed, or even dragged for the user's convenience. Now let's discuss the mobile support provided by HATS. With HATS, we can create interfaces designed for mobile devices. So it basically increases the reach of the application. That not only it's being viewed on laptops or desktop, it can also be viewed on various handheld devices, mobile phones, smartphones, tablets. So with responsive web design that is built on top of HATS, we can make application viewable across multiple devices by remaining in the budget with minimum duplication of efforts. So adopting this strategy, we make application adaptable according to the medium it is being viewed on, rather than anticipating the device, OS, or platform to support our application. We go other way around. We anticipate that we'll be encountering this device, this OS, this platform, and then display the content accordingly. So the idea is that solution remains the same, that is implementation via rational HATS, but by making few changes in the design, one code is written to make application responsive to the viewing medium. For end users, it is all seamless. They don't know, neither they need to know the difference in approach that is taken in the development. Simple techniques like anticipating different screen sizes and adjusting the content accordingly, making images scalable per the viewing screen, adjustment to cater portrait and landscape views. These simple techniques can prevent from making multiple code bases and the need to store and manage content at multiple places. You write once and use it everywhere. Mainly the responsive web design caters to the variation in landscape and portrait mode across devices. So it displays the content accordingly. This one is another example that you change the orientation and the way output will appear on the same device, but with different orientation. So here you can see a sample HATS application. You can see the green screen and corresponding HATS web screens on multiple devices. Just observe that how the output is being changed on different devices. So with that, I would now like to request Mohammad Imran, our HATS expert, to take this webinar further.
Thank you, Yasir. Let's now discuss some utilities that Royal Cyber has developed for a specific task. Multiple green screen data on a tab. With the HATS, data from multiple green screen or a single busy green screen can be divided into multiple tabs for better management and viewing experience. Here you can see that green screen has a lot of content, so the mapped modernized web page is divided into two tabs. In this example, you can see the source data is retrieved from multiple screens, and in the modernized web page it is presented under various tabs with relevant tabs heading. This keeps the data in more organized manner and saves a lot of navigation time. Here you can see another example where data from three different green screens is divided into three tabs. Data export in PDF, Excel and other formats. It is a very common need to have the data in MS Excel, PDF, RTF or any other desired format. Here you can see the green screen data is first organized in the tabular manner on the web page. In the next slide you will see how the data is exported in PDF and MS Excel format just by clicking the generate PDF or generate Excel buttons. As you can see button on web page. Here you can see the output in PDF and MS Excel format. When user click the button, Excel or PDF application is opened with the relevant data of the web page. Attractive pop-up windows. There are various situations where user requires more assistance like showing a list of values, showing a message or help text. For this pop-up are very useful. Here you can see the list of US states along with their abbreviation are shown in the pop-up window. We can see text field state province on the web page. User can click on the book icon next to the field and this pop-up will appear. This is another example with slightly different data shown in the pop-up. For executive, higher management, decision maker or analyst, quick and easy to read graphs for decision making are extremely helpful. It is hard to read and understand the trend analysis in the numerical form. However, it is a different story altogether when the same data is presented on the form of chart or graph. The flat numeric data can be transformed into chart and graph easily using HATS, although only line chart is demonstrated here, but HATS support various other graph types as well like bar chart, column chart, pie chart. Google Map API implementation. It is often needed to show the map on web page. By extracting the data, zip code or coordinates from the relevant field in the green screen, Google Map integration can be implemented on modernized web page. Apart from Google Map, integration with other similar service like Yahoo Map, Wikimap, etc. can also be done. Barcode implementation. Barcode are frequently used in different business settings. RC has spun grasp over the implementation of any barcode device with HATS application. In this example, the generic barcode data is read from the barcode scanner and then stored into the green screen application. Similarly, barcode stored in the system is also retrieved when needed for matching. We have developed HATS application for these specific devices as well, like Motorola MC9090 and MC9060 scanners. These devices have built-in functionality of barcode. Here you can see the product detail are stored in the green screen application with the barcode. The barcode is retrieved on demand in the PDA. Social media integration. Social media integration like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, MySpace is a bit rare in modernized version of green screen application. Nevertheless, this integration, if needed, can be implemented by Royal Fiber. Print support. Green screen scattered data is organized by applying various techniques. As shown in this slide, Similarly, the data can also be further organized for gathering printer-friendly version of the content. All of the data present in scrollable widget with heading can be printed. For this, you can see print button on the web page. When user will click on print or similar button in modernized web page, the general print menu, depending on the operating system, will appear and you can have print out per your requirements. Currency or dollar format. On host, generally numeric and format specific values are shown without any particular format. But on modernized web page, values can be displayed as per the desired format, for instance, dollar format, currency format, accounting notation, telephone number, or any other required format. Database access through direct JDBC. This implementation allows direct JDBC data access, meaning accessing data directly from database based on the search query to make the overall operation faster. Here you can see a search is requested from the modernized web page. Then we request the database for the relevant search result and green screen application to share the interface to show the data. Now database server and green screen return the requested data or information. The modernized screen is populated based on the data retrieved. Once the data is obtained from a green screen or database, or both, pagination could be applied on it for easier access to the data. Various other pagination scheme can be implemented per requirements and type of data to be accessed. Now let me give you demonstration of the web services. Modern application based on SOA architecture have proper mechanism to communicate with other applications. A facility that is practically absent in green screen legacy applications. With the help of HATS tool, we can develop web service that can be used to get the data back and forth from and to the green screen. You can create both REST and SOAP web service with HATS. Multiple screen data on a web page via HATS web services. Here we can see that data from multiple screen is displayed on single modernized web page. Web services are loading and populating the data on single web page. Here is another example. Two HATS web services, each collecting data from multiple different green screen, is used for showing data in the modernized web page. Web service consumed in other applications. HATS web service can be consumed in other applications built on other technologies. Here you can see the data from IBM Z is combined with data retrieved from DB server and is being used in the .NET based application. Once web service is created, it can be used for taking data in a secured manner and consuming in any other application. Here we have shown the implementation in a .NET application. However, that does not mean that the service cannot be consumed in PHP, Java, or any other type of application. We can do that as well due to our expertise over the tool. Here you can see that web service is created to communicate with .NET, and you can see that per transaction time is saved, making the overall process efficient. Non-HATS web service mean web service which have been created in any other technology can be consumed by the HATS. Here, modernized web page is also pulling the data from the green screen as well as from non-HATS web service. Eventually, data from both the source is being shown to the application user. Now let's discuss few other topics. The difference between WebSphere and green screen server's timeout is a big issue to handle for the programmers. The time difference requires an approach that keeps on checking if the legacy server present at backend has timed out or not. Traditionally, this is handled by developing an applet, but it has its own flaws like connection issue, or if Java is disabled by the browser, then there is no way to know if the backend server is timed out or not. However, with the AJAX based implementation, this talks become easy as a small component keep on doing it to keep the modernized screen and its counterpart legacy screen consistent from sessions perspective. There are no firewall issue and there is no explicit need to have Java enabled, making this the perfect solution. Here is the more traditional use of AJAX as the component to bring in data to populate field. In this implementation, the grid or table are filled without refresh based on certain event like data insertion. In this example, the AJAX is populating the data in tabs when clicked on demand. Request sent to the server does not require refreshing the whole page. Only the required data is pulled from the legacy server and or database. Portal in HATS. Portal are used very frequently by companies these days. HATS can also be used for developing counterpart portal application of the green screen application. Here you can see multiple portlets are implemented based on the data retrieved from green screen application. This is an example of combined integrated data from various sources into a single web interface. Here you can see data from 50 to 50 application, from 30 to 70 application, and from virtual terminal in a single web interface. In short, 3 different green screen applications are merged on a single portal page. DOJO in HATS. DOJO toolkit is an open source modular JavaScript library designed to facilitate the rapid development of application and website. This is a modernized web page of DOJO. We can use DOJO framework in HATS in full-fledged manner. Here we can see that DOJO implementation forces the user to enter valid postal and country code. Now traditionally the data is being sent to the green screen and then the error message is returned and then user has to re-enter the correct value. Whereas with DOJO implementation, it is ensured that at least the format of the data is necessarily entered in correct manner in modernized screen, like no character in a numeric field. It saves the user's time and ensures the correctness of data. Furthermore, other client-side facilities like data masking tool, tips can also be easily implemented. DOJO also allows the implementation of different control like the date picker shown in this slide. jQuery in HATS. On this page, we have used jQuery for achieving the requirement of data insertion. It is a div-based pop-up that opens on a web page as a part of current JSP. User click on any item on the open pop-up and it's get inserted in the root page. On-demand jQuery component library can be used in HATS application easily. With HATS implementation, application can be integrated seamlessly. Like here you can see highlighted grid is populated from a .NET application, whereas rest of the screen's data is being pulled from the green screen. There is no restriction whatsoever of the platform, operating system, browser, IDE, language, or for integration. Okay, with that I will request Yasir to conclude the webinar.
Thank you, Imran. You really nailed it. So let me discuss a few Royal Cyber IBM HATS combination business benefits. So you can achieve best ROI with practically no risk, because as I mentioned very early in the webinar that you don't need to migrate, you don't need to make any changes. Then there is very less development cost, there is very less maintenance cost, there is no compromise whatsoever on all important data security. You can apply techniques like macros, customization, even default rendering, and with the implementation of HATS, you get the global availability of your system, and it's very easy to explain your application and get the desired support team to support your application if you choose to go on HATS. So considering these factors and many other factors, we can simply say that we can achieve maximum ROI if we apply HATS on top of our green screen based applications. So with this, the main content area is ended. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. You can type your questions in the chat window provided. If you're facing any difficulty in finding the area where you can put your questions, just let us know. It's at the same place where you have the hand raise option. So we have a question that what is happening at the back end to display multiple green screens data on a single tabbed web page? So basically, you must have observed during the webinar that we have showed you data coming from multiple green screen on a single page with or without tabs multiple times. Actually, there are various ways you can apply to get data from multiple screens on a on the same page. Like you can use HATS macros, you can create HATS web service, even you can tweak your customization a bit to get data from various sources on the same web page. Your question is very interesting, and I seriously recommend you to join our detailed HATS training. You will find many of your answers in that 2-day long session. Okay. There is another question. What is a HATS web service? Okay. Let me give the control to Imran to answer this question.
Actually, HATS created web service are same as other web services. With HATS, you can create web service on the top of the green screen. Then this web service can be consumed in HATS application or in any other application like .NET, PHP, or Java, or any other application. You can consume it.
So basically the idea is that HATS can be used for both creating a web service that can be used elsewhere, or other way around, that a web service is created anywhere else and you consume it in your HATS application. So it works both ways, and HATS supports this whole thing very well. Okay, do you have any other questions? Okay, there is a question. Okay, in DOJO in HATS section, we showed a calendar control, and we also showed a calendar control in another section, that was widget section, by the way. So which one is the best? Actually, I mean, we cannot pinpoint a one solution and call it the best, because mostly generally in computer science there is no certain answer to anything that this is the absolute best. It all depends on the requirement, it all depends on the client budget, it all depends on the environment you are working on. So if you are implementing, if you have selected DOJO to support you with the implementation, then you can have the DOJO based controls. And if you are not using DOJO, then using DOJO only for the calendar control, would not be recommended. So I mean, DOJO is very beneficial, no doubt, but it makes your application a little heavier because all the validations are on client side. So in such cases where the performance is really a big issue, then you might not choose to go for DOJO. So it all depends on the requirement, and we need an expert like our very own Imran to decide that which approach is the best, considering the situation at hand, considering the client requirement. So I guess there are no more questions. So this is it from our side. I would really like to thank you for listening to this webinar. We hope you enjoyed the session and found it educational and interesting. Feel free to contact us for any queries in the future regarding HATS or any other IBM solution for that matter. You can get 40 hours of consultancy free of cost from us for any kind of modernization. And let me remind you again about our HATS training programs. Stay tuned with us for more trainings and webinars in the coming months. Thank you very much for your participation. We hope you enjoyed the session. Goodbye from all of us. We really hope to see you again. Goodbye.